Hey guys, and welcome back to the Music by Mads podcast, the music podcast for mainstream music lovers. Today, we are talking about Mr. Michael Jackson. I'm a little late to the party, but I just got to see Michael last Tuesday, so almost a full week ago from when I'm recording this, a full week ago from when this episode goes out. And it was phenomenal. I enjoyed it very much. Fantastic movie. One of the best movies I've seen in a while, which is crazy to me. Like, one of the best movies I've seen in a while. Yeah, so I wanted to do a Michael Jackson episode. I am in an interesting stage of life right now. If you are up to date on your podcast episodes, I'm moving in like 4 weeks, and it's been crazy. So I've been really stressed and really busy and avoidant and procrastinating. So I stressed myself out for part of it, but stressed. But that's okay. Today might be a little bit shorter. It probably will be a lot shorter than you guys are used to with my episodes, but you know what? That's okay. We're going to talk about something really fun that's come up a lot on social media is what I've seen. And that is why Michael Jackson's music still sounds just timeless. It just sounds timeless. It still sounds like it could have come out today and people would have enjoyed it. So I've got five examples. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, 5 songs as examples for why this is happening. Like why his music still sounds timeless. It really boils down to one thing. And I'm going to keep it a secret. You're going to connect the dots, hopefully, is what I'm hoping. Maybe you're passively listening and you won't, but that's okay. Hopefully you'll see where I'm going with this as I'm going, basically. I really, this might only be like 15 minutes long. It might be a really, really short episode, you guys. It's going to be 15 to 20 minutes, probably. Watch it still be 30 minutes. It'll be okay. So, our first example is off of his first studio album, Off the Wall, and it's Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. That is one of my favorite Michael Jackson songs, and this is such a great example of his early production because it's such a maximalist disco track. It's got the heavy string parts, it's got the horns, it's got the cool synthy guitar that comes in at the very, very end. That just adds a little more flavor to it. This is one of my favorites. Like I just said, this is one of my favorite Michael Jackson songs. And it's because of the maximalist sound, which is what a lot of artists are trying to go for today. A lot of artists are going for the maximalist sounds, but what they're missing is the pocket for each of them. So every instrument, and this is going to be true for each song that I'm talking about today, each of these songs, the instruments fit perfectly into where they're supposed to go. They're in their pocket, they're in their element, and it makes the song better. Even if it's just a looping figure, it makes the song better. There's nothing that gets boring or anything, and I think something that artists are missing today are they're getting the maximalist part of it, but some of their songs don't have the instruments don't neatly fit into the pockets like they're supposed to. They can be over synthy instruments and not enough acoustic instruments, which is where a lot of that comes from. And that is a big thing I talk about a lot. Bring back acoustic instruments in your music. There are some, but I want more. Give me more drums. Give me more electric guitar. Give me everything more that is acoustic, because your music will benefit from that. Synthy sounds are great for convenience, and they make an album cheaper to produce because you're paying for a tool instead of a real musician. But pay the real musician, guys. Get the real musician into the studio with you, and it'll serve your music so well. It serves the music so well. I'm really revealing all of my cards right now. This maximalist energy that Don't Stop Till You Get Enough is giving everybody it works because it fits in the pocket. Nothing is out of place. There are the full string orchestra that passes back and forth. The horns, I already talked about these a little bit, but it's just perfect. And you hear it when it happens. His voice just sits in a perfect place that blends with everything else. and it just works. It just works. This is less of a like lesson and more just me convincing you why I think it is. It's more of a persuasion thing rather than an educational thing at this point. Anyways, so then we move on to the Thriller era, and I have 2 songs from this era because it's the highest selling album of all time. So of course I would have 2 songs from this era out of the 5. It's the highest selling album of all time. Like what more can you say about this? It's just a true testament to how good this music is. And one of the reasons, one of those songs is Billie Jean. Everybody loves Billie Jean. If you don't love Billie Jean, I fear you don't love music. Each instrument fits into its own pocket. It prevents the song from being cluttered. And even if he's adding a bunch of instruments, they fit where they're supposed to go. And it's not too much and it's not too little. And it's so perfect. That is one of my favorite like little groovy guitar solos from his catalog is the Billie Jean solo, because it fits perfectly when he brings it in the first time underneath his voice, and then he brings it in again as more of a guitar solo, but it's just the same thing that you've heard already, just in the background. It's great. This era, Thriller was such a fantastic era. I'm not even talking about Thriller today. The other song isn't Thriller. But that's a fantastic song. That is one of my favorite Michael Jackson songs. It's just so perfect. I feel like I'm just rambling nonsense because it's so logical to me that each instrument has its own pocket and it fits in the right place, and that is what serves the music so well. And he doesn't go overboard with the synths. He knows he and Quincy Jones, who longtime producer, obviously most people know that at this point about Michael Jackson, him and Quincy Jones knew how to work the instruments in the way, like he thinks, let me start over real quick. Michael Jackson thinks conceptually, or thought conceptually. He's no longer with us, unfortunately. And I say this because I am also a very conceptual thinker. Like I can see a whole thing in my brain like going on, but it's sometimes hard to communicate that. But he figured out, like he was able to bring the concepts that were in his brain to life with music. And that is like, I feel like that's so evidenced in the way he wanted to do short films for music videos instead of just like a simple, just regular cut of the song. It's a full short film to go with his music. It's so apparent to me that he was such a conceptual thinker, and him and Quincy Jones had a rapport that that gave them the ability to communicate this to the world. And it's so evident in Thriller especially, which is when he really started going hard at it with the concepts and the short films and everything. Not to mention, Billie Jean was the first music video in heavy rotation on MTV. That is an incredible record. Shouldn't have had to be a record, but incredible record. And he was such an innovator, and I'm rambling, but he was such an innovator in the way he thought about music and brought it to life in the pop scope, because there have been composers for hundreds and hundreds of years that have thought conceptually and have been able to communicate that to the world. But I feel like he was one of the first, and obviously the most prominent. Like there's no one else who can do it, like who could have done it like Michael Jackson. The most prominent to bring it to life. Hopefully that made sense to somebody, because that was like word soup. It's all just floating around in there. I think it becomes more apparent what he can do conceptually with Human Nature, which is the other song off of Thriller we're talking about. Those synths at the beginning are just there to create the atmosphere. They fade away completely, or almost completely, in the verses, and they just they're there. They just exist in space. They come back in periodically and give it the atmosphere that they created in the beginning with these synths that are held at octaves from one another. One a little more reverby than the other. And it's perfect. It's heavily supported by acoustic instruments. It's not just surviving off of the synth. If it were to survive off the synth, I don't think it would have had nearly the same effect. It's a wonderful, like, it's a rumba, which is really fun. It's a really fun dance. I love rumba. It's just, it sits in a groove, and the synths aid the sound rather than dominate it. You know, like, everything is in harmony with each other, not just musically, but like, it works together, it blends together. It's fantastic. Also, underrated part of Human Nature is the part where, I can't remember the melody now, that's gonna be awkward, but it's like, he's like, tell me why, and then he's like, got this other, like, little floaty line in the background. You gotta listen to it with headphones. I do not remember them. I think it's, oh, I'm sorry. Just like this floaty line in the background, it like rises above everything else on a couple of the final choruses. Fantastic. I think more people need to talk about that part. There we go. And those are my thoughts on the Thriller album, because we're moving on from the era. We're going snappy today. We're doing a little shorter of an episode so I don't die of stress. Hopefully we'll have another full-length episode, but maybe you guys like this. If you guys like this length, tell me. And I can do more of this length, rather than just my full-length album review ones. So we got to go to the bad era. Obviously, the next era. What an incredible 3-album run. Off the Wall, Thriller, and Bad. We're not talking about Bad, though. We're talking about Smooth Criminal, which is, I think, despite Bad being the name track of the title track of that era, I think Smooth Criminal is the most famous one from this album. And he starts experimenting a lot more with the sound. He's doing something a little bit different while staying true to his, like, base roots of, like, what he likes to do. This one's often described as cinematic, but he really started using the synclavier, to create the thumping, like, heartbeat and staccato rhythm that we hear in it. It was a relatively new way to use synth, and he was experimenting with it and pushing the industry forward in that way as well. That's another reason. That's another reason that his music is so timeless. He was pushing the industry in such a new direction, in such a more, such an iconic direction. Just like, he was pushing, he was innovating, he was doing something new that nobody else had, like, other people had done, but not so well as him. And if they hadn't done it, he did it really well, and now no one can replicate it. He ruined it for everybody in the best way possible. Yeah, so good. Smooth Criminal is such an iconic, I forget how good of a song that is until you listen to it again. You can't understand a word of what he's saying until he gets to Annie, Are You Okay? But, it's just, the sound, the cinematic sound is what he was going for, and that's what he achieved. And I feel like that really is a testament to conceptual thinking, and why I think he was a conceptual thinker rather than a, just someone who, anyways, I think he was a conceptual thinker. And that's not, like, I'm also a conceptual thinker, but that's in no way me trying to say I'm as genius as Michael Jackson. Who could say that, first of all? People have tried, and they are wrong. But, like, I feel like seeing, and obviously the movie takes creative liberties, so maybe it's not exactly how he worked, but I feel like it's evident through what he did in his career that he thought more conceptually and, like, had a specific image he wanted to bring out from the song, which sometimes means less emphasis on lyrics and more emphasis on the sound, which is a lot of what he did. And then finally, our last song comes from Dangerous, and it's Black or White. I also forget how good this song is. That first melody line, so good. I forget the intro all the time. It throws me off every single time, but it's such a good, like, it brings in so many genres. It's got pop, it's got rock, it's got hip hop, and it's not like one or the other. It blends the genres to be a universal sound. Like, anybody who can who's listened to this album can, or this song, not this album, but yes, the album, but anyone who listens to it can enjoy it, and isn't just like this pop record, you know? It's not just a pop song. It's everything. And that's why I think his sound is so universal. I lost the words there for a second. To recap why I think Michael Jackson's sound is so universal and timeless. One, synths and acoustic instruments working together rather than relying too heavily on one or the other, which allowed him to innovate. Two, each instrument sat in its pocket so well on every single song. Nothing dominated over another thing, and if it did, it was very much on purpose, and you can tell in the way when you listen to it. Number three, he was innovating. Innovators are often rewarded for the work they do, especially in music. They shape future generations and future music in so many ways. So those are the three reasons why I think Michael Jackson's music is so timeless for people today. Like, you hear them say it like, oh yeah, Michael Jackson has fans that aren't born yet. And that's, I think, truly a testament to the way he used his instrumentation and innovated through his music. It's also just fantastic. It's just fantastic music. Like, you can't go wrong. And there you go. Anyways, so next week, I want you guys to tell me what you want to hear. Put a topic in the comments, DM me on Instagram or Facebook. Give me topics and I will put it on the schedule and we'll talk about it. I have certain albums that will be coming up as they come out that I will be talking about. But I'm pretty open until those happen. Send me more albums that are coming out. Send me more songs you want me to deep dive into. Send me concepts you want me to teach about, like music theory. Send me anything. I will listen and I will provide as much as possible. Obviously, some things I can't do, but I will do it. Please and thank you. So that all that leaves us with today is the Song of the Day segment. 7 songs for 7 days of the week. And of course, the first 3 are Michael Jackson songs. Human Nature, Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, and Blame It on the Boogie by the Jacksons. Then we've got That's the Way I Loved You by Taylor Swift. I'm very fond of Taylor's version. Fresh Out the Slammer, also by Taylor Swift. Wildfire by Joshua Bassett, and Everybody Loves Beat by One Republic. Anyways, shorter episode today. We'll see you guys next week for a mystery topic that you guys are to choose. Have fun. Go ahead and do it. Bye!